Hey yo.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Holo Herald Podcast, episode 22, I think. I can't remember correctly, but I think that's what we're up to. We're moving right along really quickly. I'd just like to say thank you guys for joining us for this episode. Thank you for listening to our podcast. It's really fun. It's one of our favorite ways to converse back and forth with our users. We can go a lot more in-depth in some of our topics and some of our views, and we really enjoy being able to do that and having that liberty and that freedom. Just remember, down below is if you're listening to the pre-recorded version, that is, down below is the timestamps and the link dump of what we've talked about. If you're joining us live right now, welcome to the live stream. We cannot wait to get started with you guys. Normally when we live stream, we leave a little bit of extra stuff in for the people that are there live, and we edit a little bit out for the pre-recorded version. Nothing ever super fancy, just a little side discussion we'll normally have or something, some antics or whatever happens to happen. So we highly encourage you guys to join us for the live stream. We stream every Monday night, hopefully at about 7 o'clock is when we'll get starting, or right before or right after, right around that time, just due to technical difficulties or whatnot. But yeah, I guess let's go ahead and jump right into it. Today I'm joined by, this is Eric, by the way, and today I'm joined by my two good friends. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, boys.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm back from quite a long hiatus, but a lot has been changing in my life as of recent, but I'm hoping my schedule will be a little more stable now so I can be a more regular participant on the podcast, but it's good to be back and I'm excited to talk with everyone.
And my not so good friend,
Austin. Good to be back. And we're going to be talking about some awesome things today on this podcast. I don't know if we've got many things to discuss about mixed reality, but we'll have some good topics, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I noticed last week a lot of MR stuff came out, like so much, and the week before. There was just so much news to talk about, new technology, new AR kit, new HoloLens, new HPU chip, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it was, there was so much of it coming out this week. And then this week's just been like, dead. There hasn't been like anything. I mean, you search the news and there hasn't been much, and you go to the developer communities and there's not much discussion going on. I think everybody got kind of burnt out from last week, so we'll probably start back in next week, but we still have some pretty good tech topics that we'll discuss. First off, we're going to start off with a patented Paul and Eric rant. Well, mostly probably me, but I have a little bit of a rant that I need to get off my chest. Do you get how many podcasts was it ago when we ranted hardcore about internet speeds and such? Paul, was it?
I would say probably about I don't know. They kind of are all starting to blend together, but I would say probably 10 podcasts ago.
Almost 10 podcasts ago.
Yeah, we had this discussion probably in April or March, I'd say.
Wow, we've been doing the podcast for 22 weeks. Yeah. Wow, when you put it like that, it feels like we've been doing it forever. Holy cow. How many months is that? I'm not good at math or anything. That's
22 weeks.
Is how many months? We'll edit this out of the pre-recorded versions.
5.5 months.
Oh, wow.
5.5 months.
That's impressive. Okay. It feels like a long time when we put it like that, but it also feels like really short when I look at it in my memory. Interesting. That's a weird way to grade time. I know when people get up into people like the Rooster Teeth podcast and really long-going podcasts, when they get up into 400s, 500s, could you imagine that? That's like a chronological timeline of your life. I mean, you could go back to any 1 week where something happened or something like that, and you could listen to your exact thoughts at that time. What a weird perspective.
Yeah, that would be really interesting, especially if you're in those 500s, you're getting near doing 10 years. So it's 10 years of your life you've documented for the internet to hear. So it's kind of weird that how
do you think they
amazing that is. Yeah.
The journal that lasts forever.
Yeah, the journal that lasts. Do you think they go back and what's something we've joked about? I bet they go back and they joke about what was it, the Rooster Teeth podcast? They were joking about something, and then it got really, really popular. You're kind of oh, the internet, what's the internet? Oh, what's a .com, Joe? You know, that whole old video. You think there's anything like that where we're just being like, we're totally like crapping on some technology or something like that, and it's going to come back and really bite us in the butt in the future? Well,
Like
we're
Magic
totally
Leap?
like Magic Leap. We're going to come back to every episode that we've had with Magic Leap drama and just totally regret everything.
Which is 22 episodes and counting, right?
Have we missed a single week of Magic Leap drama?
I don't know. Doesn't seem like we have.
It does not seem like we have. Anyways, we talked about internet speeds forever ago. And we're just going to retouch on that again for a moment. We're trying to set up, my girlfriend just got a new apartment. We're just trying to set up internet out there. And it has kind of been like a slight joke. Like, it's super easy to just set up by myself. Like, I could get it up enough, but we're just trying to go through like some due to some outward circumstances. We've been having to deal with like this middleman trying to come through and up charges and stuff like that. So the internet speed that he's trying to offer us, get this, guys. This is 2017 in we're like a small town, but we're not very small. $40 a month for 10 down. Can you guys believe that?
That's insane. I'm paying $40 a month for 100 down right now.
Holy, you're paying $40 a month for 100 down.
Yeah.
And wow, that blows my mind.
I think we're paying like 60 for 100 down and pretty good upload. I'm not sure what it is though.
My up
insane.
is terrible. I know that my up is terrible, but I really only care about the down at this point. I think when I clocked my up when I first got it, it was like 5 or 8 or something like that.
Why can't they give us the same up as down? I've always been curious about that. What is there a technological difference there, or is it just them skimping us? And I know most people don't use it, but why not give them the ability to if they do? What is it the same technology, right? It's the same technology.
I'm not sure. I haven't really researched it.
I haven't researched it. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it at all. But I would just think it's like, yeah, they're just catering to consumer. Like, if I can squeeze out a few more down for the amount I'm paying, I'm willing to give up like all of my up because I'm just not going to use the up that much.
But Google Fiber, I mean, gives you 1,000 down and 1,000 up. They match it. They give you like level for what it is. So it's got to be the same technology. I have no idea. Maybe I'm completely wrong, off base with that. I don't know. I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's probably the most crooked thing. Like, there's been a lot of talk about net neutrality and stuff lately. Have you guys? That stuff's really up for debate again right now. I think along those lines, we need to be talking about internet speeds. I think that should be almost as important as talking about the freedom of the internet or whatever side people are on. That needs to be up there, because if we're saying, hey, internet's a freaking right, we need to guarantee a speed, because 10 down, that's really slow. That's like really, really, really slow. That's like one device will be maxed out on that. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah,
great?
if you
Go ahead,
tried if you tried to like stream multiple videos on multiple devices, you'd just like not be able to watch anything. It'd even be like terrible on one device. Like, that's like hotel Wi-Fi. It's just like you're not gonna have a good time using it.
Oh yeah, it all stems from this. I hate when businesses take advantage of consumers' lack of knowledge. And I feel like in the tech industry, that's probably one of the biggest places that happens. And I mean, I understand that's where like services and demands and stuff comes from. Like a plumber, a plumber can charge me quite a bit because maybe I could fix that myself, but I don't want to get the equipment. I don't want to spend the time worrying about it, so I charge it. But there's a difference between, let's put it like this. Let's say a plumber is going to fix my toilet. My toilet's broken, and they're both going to offer the same exact service, and one is going to charge me 5 times as much as the other plumber. That's crooked at that point, wouldn't you say? Like, if the other plumber could get past that point, why don't we feel the same with internet speeds? Because they're just providing a service. Am I off base with this, or what do you guys think?
I think it just has to do with the consumer's lack of knowledge and lack of research on finding out what to do with their internet. I don't know.
Well, and a lot of times you're sucked into this idea like, oh, you can only get one provider in this area. So like with me, I actually I have like Time Warner or Spectrum, if you want that. I have that option, and that's the only option I have for my apartment building. I wanted to go with the Cincinnati Bell Company, which is a local company. They're only really in the Cincinnati area, and they offer really good speeds for a really cheap price. But you're limited by what you can get depending on where you live. And I think that's what a lot of people run into as well. Yeah, it might stem also from this idea of, people just don't know and they're just willing to accept it because, hey, you're paying someone else to worry about it for you, But it is kind of a problem when, especially like this guy that you were talking about, who's offering this like ridiculously slow speed for so much money. That's just ridiculous.
But people don't know better. That's the thing. Is like people might be thinking that's a good deal, or maybe they're just like older people that don't know better. They just think, that's what internet is. Internet is just expensive. To have this luxury, to have whatever this is, I have to pay a lot, And the thing is, they jack prices up. Like I remember I would talk to people sometimes that through the years, for the same speed they've been paying, they're paying like $100-$140. And I know that's like lack of knowledge, but at the same point, there's got to be some obligation as a company to say, I'm not going to screw people over, some point like that. And is this due to, like Paul said, is this due to like a monopoly or lack of options? Is that one of the reasons? Because, or is it? I'm trying to think, put myself in the shoes of an older person, and how do they get internet? Like, if you're an older person, how do they go about getting internet?
Bundle. Like, if they have cable already, they just get it bundled. Like, so my grandmother, I'll use a personal example here. My grandmother, she didn't have Wi-Fi for probably like 15 years. No, yeah, 15 years after like Wi-Fi was a real thing.
That's impressive.
Has it been 15 years?
Probably closer, older maybe. I know in the early 90s it was a thing.
She's a very late adopter, let's just say. Like, she got Wi-Fi last year.
Oh, okay, that's very late.
And she just called her cable company, and the guy came and added it to her package. So, like, she gets stuck in this huge bundle but, like, she's really good about just getting them to keep the prices down because she calls them with, like, every bill and is like, yeah, I don't think I want this anymore. And they're like, oh, but we'll offer you this discount.
She's a smart lady. She knows how to play the system.
Yeah, but, still, I think that's how most older, people get it, is they don't specifically go out looking for it, but they see, I can get it in my package, and my grandkids seem to like it a lot, so I'll get it.
There's that's a really good point, and so they just go about the process of getting it, and it just kind of comes out. You think there's like a level of fear mongering too, kind of put into it, like, I have to get internet. I don't care what it is. I just have to get Wi-Fi, like my grandkids want Wi-Fi, so I have to get it. And then they call the internet companies, and the internet companies use like big intimidating words to intimidate people into getting it for expensive prices. And I don't know, is it due to lack of competition? Is that right? Is that where net neutrality stems from too? I feel like this whole problem just stems from lack of competition. Why isn't there more competition in the internet field? Is it just because the cable lines are already all put in and it's too much of an investment for a company to do it?
I think mostly it is that. It is really expensive, and also like the dot-com bubble, when that collapsed in 1997, 98, 99, that was a big deal where a lot of bigger companies like the ones still around today, like Verizon, AT&T, Time Warner, Charter, they're the companies who survived and bought everyone's assets, so they own all the cables in the ground. There's, like, it used to be a very, like, I wouldn't say super competitive, but there was a lot of companies, though a lot of them were smaller companies, who eventually just sold to the big guys because that's where the money was. And the big guys knew how to make it cheaper for.
So can your average person go start an ISP? Like let's say, Holo Herald, we're done making videos, we're done mixed reality, we want to become a ISP. Is that possible? Or do we have to like rent the lines from someone else?
Unless you lay your own lines, you'd have to rent. And I have no clue. Like, that's one thing that I'd love to learn more about, is how, like, the internet actually works. You know, like, how does one So I know, like, yeah, we have all these cables which connect to servers, and then those servers connect to different servers, and that's basically the internet. But if I wanted to give myself, like what you said, I wanted to give myself my own connection to the internet without paying anyone to give me that connection, probably like something like what the U.S. Army would do, or the Department of Defense would do, where they don't have an ISP, they are their own ISP. I wonder how that would work out. Or like if you launch your own satellite.
Yeah, that's one thing I think is going to really change a lot of this internet stuff is starting an ISP is really hard. You want to drop both those in the live stream, please, Austin, would you? I can't post comments right now, so that'd be great. Anyways, you're exactly right. I think that's one thing that's going to really change how internet works is when we get satellite internet, when you can have it everywhere and when it's like an affordable price, when Elon Musk is just going to shoot that up there, because then you're no longer stuck to like these house lines and where you can get it. It's basically, the satellite's going to cover a much bigger area. I wonder how fast that'll take over. Do you think like we're going to get satellite internet and then everything's going to go satellite, or do you think we're going to hold on to this old archaic cables and such?
I think that companies are going to take this, like the companies that we have today, either they're going to become satellite companies or they're going to hold on so dearly to their customers, like they're just going to slash prices to barely anything, and just try and hold on to people. But what I kind of see is satellites are going to become so cheap to launch for even like you or I that we could get together like with a group of friends and give someone like $10,000 for the components necessary to launch on a satellite, while other people do the same thing, and you just have this like collective satellite that's giving a group of people Wi-Fi,
Just like instead of having like we could have a Cache Valley Wi-Fi, we could just buy Cache Valley's Wi-Fi or whatever, and it was like an just for us. We didn't have to share bandwidth with anybody else. It'd be so cool. Look, I'm looking at this infographics, like how to start your own ISP. Does poor internet service make you wish for an alternative to big ISPs? If so, you aren't alone. Check out these pioneers who have built their own ISP and how you can do it yourself. How to build your own ISP. Whether you're using Wi-Fi or fiber network, you need to address the following. Each USD has their own bandwidth suppliers. Oh, so you have to go through a bandwidth company and deal with the bandwidth. What the freak? Wow, there's a lot of hoops you have to do. This is a huge infographic. You have to get funding and government grants, and then you have to lease through someone else or lay your own fiber.
Yeah, it was extremely expensive for them to do it, and like they did it in the cities that kind of count for them. I'd say like Salt Lake, Provo was a good move for them because that's like a really big hub of .com companies right now. So
huge startups and stuff like that, and a lot of colleges right there. And then Austin, Texas is another good one. San Francisco, yeah, they put it all in all the important places. But I mean, that's insane. It kind of is a bummer that it's so hard to start and it's so monopolized. Because that's one area we could really use a lot of competition, and it just bums me out. And what bums me out is it leaves like this like seedy middleman area, because like I just hate when companies take advantage of people beyond a reasonable amount. When you pocket a couple extra bucks because someone's a dummy, that's fine. Or but when you're like literally just taking advantage of people because they have no other option and that you can just force them to do it, that kind of sucks, because I doubt there's anything stopping CenturyLink from giving people the same speeds as Comcast, but they just don't have to, because CenturyLink is what everybody has been using here for so long that they're just grandfathered in with everybody. I don't know. It's just a bummer. Who was it that's laying a giant cable across the ocean to somewhere else? Facebook, that's right. It's supposed to be insane speeds, isn't it?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say the exact speed because I'll get eaten alive, but I know it's incredibly fast.
Okay, I'm finding out right now.
3,000 down.
I think it's even better than that.
It's better than that.
3 gig is not that much.
It's insane how good this is. Facebook and Microsoft. Let's see.
Oh God, I hate auto playing videos.
160 terabytes per second of bandwidth.
Woo!
Whoa. Okay.
I knew it was huge. I was only going to say 5 terabytes, so that just
160 terabytes a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know how many movies that is?
That's insane. What does it say what they plan to intend to? I know this is kind of old news. This is like last year. I remember we talked about it a lot last year.
This is super old news.
It's super old news, but what do you use? Is this for like
just
what do you do with
information
it?
between data centers
Oh dang. That's
that
insane.
work for their online services though. So like probably like you'll see like Xbox Live work on that. You'll see all of Facebook probably run through that. Stuff like that.
That's insane. 160 terabytes a second. You know, and we're going to get to the point where, like, I'm so excited where we get to the point where data transfer really isn't a thing. Like, it's just instant. You know, it's as much data as you can put through the pipe. It's just instant. It doesn't really matter. And that's the point when I think we're going to see... I can't wait till we can get rid of hardware. I'm sick of, like, having cables. I'm sick of having hardware. I just want to have, like, a Chromebook that has the power of a performance PC or something. I know we talk about that a lot, don't we, Paul?
Basically,
Yeah, we do.
all the information you could ever want at any time, anywhere, without any hardware. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, we talk about that a lot, don't we, Paul?
Oh yeah, about like these internet connected bare bones kind of laptops, but you just virtual PC into a higher power PC when you need the power. But for most of the time, people don't need all the power that performance PCs have to offer, and it would make more sense for most people to rent out one of the, or like lease out the time to use one of those PCs and not really be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna buy my own. As long as the company that provides such a service could provide it quickly and prove that there wouldn't be any downtime on the system, like you wouldn't be waiting in line to use a computer kind of stuff. I think that's like almost the way of the future. I mean, I would prefer it that way.
You'd
I was
prefer
carrying
like
around
a
this-
subscription-based
Exactly.
PC use?
Like a monthly fee. Like there's just a billion different quality level computers over it. Like, and we, you know, a subscription, we could either go monthly based or you could even go like power based. Like the more power you use, it just starts billing you more, like per second, you know?
Jeez, you guys are millennials.
Yeah, like if you're like mining bitcoins on the computer, like you're gonna get charged a shit ton because you're using up so much power from the PC. But if you're just like, oh, I'm gonna edit a couple videos, like you're not gonna have to use up that much power. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty intensive process, but you shouldn't have to pay as much as someone doing iterative calculations on their PC, you know?
Or it depends. Like maybe we want to render a video, but we don't need it done. We can leave it overnight. But let's say we need a video rendered right now. We could just like pump in a couple extra bucks and be like, I need a beast machine right now. Render this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and have like IBM's Watson just run through your video in a second. Be
Dude,
like,
just-
all right, you're good.
Well, that would be insane. And those new supercomputers that they're building. Well, they're building those new chips. I mean, we're rehashing a lot of old news, but they're building like those super chips that are too powerful to do anything with right now. That it's just too powerful. They don't have anything to do it with. Or the new data centers that Google announced at Google I/O. Could you imagine renting out one of those for a few minutes?
That would be incredible. You could get everything you wanted done and more. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just think that's the future in the fact that, like, the first major thing, and I think this would even appeal to many PC gamers and, like, many, like, enthusiasts, is you don't have to worry about, oh, is this gonna, like, ruin my upgradability, because you're paying the company to upgrade the PCs every year and keep everything current and as powerful as possible. You know, you're not running into this idea where it's like, oh, do I really want to spend $1,500 on this video card because it's just going to be like irrelevant in a couple of years? Or do I just want to pay this company like $15 a month and I can have this video card and the next one and the next one for as long as I want?
And you don't have to worry about updating drivers. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And let's say you want to run a Windows machine. And I think here's what you would have. Here's what it's going to end up being like is you have your own OS. Like instead of having like a Google Drive login or something like that, you're going to have your whole entire OS login, and it's just going to be an image of your operating system. You know what I mean? And that's up in the cloud. And then they just attach that OS to a different to whatever OS you've built it out to be, whether you have Steam on it, whether it's a Linux machine, whether it's this, and then they're just going to boot from that on each computer each time. You're just going to boot from that image. So that would be, and that makes a lot more sense when you think about it. Everything would be kind of browser based and stuff. And most people would not need a very powerful computer. You know, you could get away with like onboard graphics and stuff.
And your data would never get lost. Well, maybe, but very
it'd be
unlikely.
Backed up across a lot of different places.
Yeah, it'd be everywhere.
You could secure it with like a blockchain. So technically, every computer on the network would know where that data is. So even if one goes down, all the others can come up and support it. So you have like millions of backups of your data.
Constantly being made, you know, every very, very rapidly.
Every save another computer just adds to the blockchain, and everyone sees it, and it goes, okay, well, your computer knows this now.
But we're forgetting the
Is
one
there a
thing
big security risk for that, though?
No.
The blockchain is actually a very secure technology in the fact that in order to change what would be on that, you'd have to hack millions of computers at once and all tell them something different. Like you'd have to say, "Oh no, I actually own this data," and you'd have to get a majority of the computers on the chain to believe you. So you'd have to hack all of those computers at once and get them to believe the same thing at once and agree on it at once. It's a very like theoretical hack, but it's very hard. It'd be very hard to do, almost impossible.
Well, and for another security risk, think about viruses. You won't have dips, you know, clicking on stuff and downloading the wrong stuff on their OS, because the computer center that you're logged into is going to have an extremely good firewall. You know what I mean? And I guess there is a bit of a security risk, because whoever you're using to host your OS, to host your image of your OS that you're running, you have to trust them. You'd have to trust them with not like limiting you to download whatever you want. You know, if you want to download illegal shit, you're going to be allowed to, you'd have to be allowed to download illegal shit, you know, or if you're, and I guess you'd have to have a little bit more trust, but hopefully there would be that level of trust. Or maybe if you want to, there would be a business for like a deep web version of it, you know what I mean, where you can go and do whatever you want. And for everyday people, that wouldn't make much sense. But you know, we talk about this even. Me and Paul have a pretty good business idea that anybody that's listening to the podcast can steal, because it's not that good. But
I thought you said it was good.
I want to run it by you. So, do you think there's a business for ultra secure Chromebooks or ultra secure laptops that they can run Tails? Help me explain it a little bit, Paul. I'm struggling.
I think the basic premise is it's a secured laptop, and you need like a USB key that you plug in to kind of unlock all your data on said laptop,
or iris scanner or something.
Yeah, so something like ultra secure. And if that,
so like two-step authentication with hardware.
Yes,
okay.
And if it's removed without you like saving your session, the entire session is wiped off of the USB drive, so it can't be replicated by anyone else.
Which is like Tails OS.
Yeah.
But it basically be. Do you think this would be helpful for people? A computer that's got a really easy interface to be able to boot multiple different OSs. Like, let's say I want to have a Windows on there, and I want to have a Mac, and I want to have a Tails all on my computer. And I want them to all run very seamlessly, and I want it to be ultra secure. I don't ever have to worry about viruses. I want to be able to make sure nobody's ever tracking me. I want to be able to go to the deep web. I want to be able to go to the normal web very seamlessly. Do you think there's a business for that, or do you think people just don't give a crap?
I mean, maybe for some people it'd be an ideal system for them, but I'm not sure who. I'm trying to think of like someone who would need that.
I think like CEOs and people like that.
Like high up people That okay, yeah, I can see that.
Or even low down people like me. Like right now, I see hundreds of thousands of people's social security numbers every day, and I don't even like think about it. But that's because I'm on a network. Like I'm on a computer on my company's network. I'm not like taking a laptop around with that data on it. I wouldn't be allowed to. That would be a major risk. But if I had something like that, they probably wouldn't care as much, because if it was ever stolen, it would just be impossible, if not like just like extremely hard to get into if you didn't have my two-factor authentication. And if you just stole it from me without like warning me and I pulled the USB, all the data's lost anyways.
We also want to implant trackers in them too, so if someone steals them, you can track them down, and remote kill switches. So you can remote kill switch from your phone or from you can call us and we could remote kill switch the laptop. I don't know. I'm just thinking there's a lot of there's no like security options that's not like an in-house IT person going through and securing your stuff for you.
I mean, when I worked for the university, they required us to either buy this key fob thing, or there's an app that you can put on your phone, and it had to be on your person to be able to log into your university account to be able to do anything.
Interesting. So I mean, I think with like a lot more high profile hacks and a lot more security issues being in the news and such, I think people are getting kind of scared of this. I think this would be kind of a cool way to do it. What would also be nice is to give to set up a what's that? What are the 4G connectors? The hotspots. To set up like a hotspot that could route through our stuff, and all of our stuff would have built-in, would have hardwired in Wi-Fi stoppers, so you can connect to any Wi-Fi you want and be totally secure. You don't have to worry about people phishing through your stuff. It'd come built in with VPNs and Tor network and all that stuff. It just become like a pre-baked security machine. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think I'd want one. You know, if it's like a Chromebook power level where I can keep everything in the cloud but still be ultra secure with it all, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of just a cool thing to have, because it's like, yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. Like, you know, like whenever you like connect to a public Wi-Fi and you're like, oh, I gotta like transfer some money to my bank account real quick.
It's terrifying.
You always get a little nervous, because it's like literally anyone could be on that Wi-Fi. Like when you watch these like videos that come out of these black hat conferences, it's just like insanely terrifying what these guys can do. Good thing they're the good guys, but still.
Sometimes, yeah. No, I mean, for a lot of high-profile people, not even high-profile, even low-profile people that hold a lot of sensitive information, I could just think at corporate, where both of us work. I know a lot of people that travel a lot that would need this security on the go. I mean, you can't connect to hotel Wi-Fi and stuff. No, most of the time, they have to remote log into their computer back at the office. We don't let them connect to any information directly. They just have to remote log in, which is even that can be traced, you know? So, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to build. So, we'll talk to Brandon, and we'll have him be our man.
Can we make the laptops look really, like, security?
Cheesy?
Yeah, security, like
those ones in the duffel bag? I mean, the ones that have, like, the built-in suitcase and the handle on
yeah.
it.
And it's like
the Tough Book or whatever.
Yeah,
the Toshiba.
The Toshiba Tough Book. Look exactly like that or something.
No, I want them to be like super sleek. Like, I don't want you to know what brand it is. I don't want you to know anything about that laptop. It just looks like a generic laptop, and that's when you know it's like ultra secure, because nobody's gonna steal a generic laptop.
No, it's like super like thin, and it's like black, but no branding or anything.
Like the HP Spectre. We just take off the branding off this HP Spectre. That would be cool. That'd be lit. That
would be dope. But I'd probably steal that. You'd have to make it look like it'd be like $100 laptop, like something that's the only person who would steal it is like a crackhead who would just like sell it for like $5.
Look up a Toshiba Satellite.
We'll be really secure, and we'll make it look like one of those leapfrog games for children.
Yeah, look up a Toshiba Satellite. Oh no, that's a new one.
Tough Book. I'm typing in Tough Book because I feel like I was right on this. You gotta send. Oh, the Panasonic. You know, it might be the Toshiba Tough Book. Yeah, it's the Toshiba Tough Book.
Here you go, guys. Here's what we're gonna make it look like.
Panasonic makes them too.
It looks so tough.
View image. Oh my
Dude,
god.
this
I
thing
hate
looks like it
huge
eats nails for
URLs.
breakfast.
Here you go.
With no
I'm
milk.
posting this in Slack. Can someone dump this into the live stream? That's what we're gonna make it look like. Which I actually really want to do. I was talking with Brandon. I want to take one of these old Toshiba satellites and rip out all the parts of it and put my Chromebook parts in there, because this thing looks cool as hell. Doesn't it look awesome?
Yeah. If you're into that sort of thing, I guess.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty hipster. Like, I feel like if you like went to like a Starbucks or a local coffee shop and pulled that out, you'd have hipsters surrounding you asking what brand.
They're all about that Mac. They're all about that Mac crap.
No, because that's retro.
Are you
Yeah,
running
but this is
Linux on that?
nerdy retro. This is nerdy retro, right? Come on, guys, back me up.
So I guess you could go to like, I don't know, where do hipster like nerds hang out?
Their mom's basement.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
No.
He's not
I don't
wrong.
know.
Anyways, I want one of those.
They're somewhere though, and they'd be enthused.
No one put my Imgur link, and no one put. Is my
I did, I
chat
put
messed up?
both.
Is the chat working for you guys?
It's not
Yeah.
letting me post links for some reason.
It's because you're not a moderator.
There we go.
Oh. Well, Jesus the Russian, please post some of those links for me.
I
Wait,
did
that's
post
Paul?
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you think was posting all those links?
Just kidding, man.
What the freak? You were not kidding. Now you just don't want us to make fun.
No, I'm kidding.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, for anyone wondering, this is why we always give Austin shit.
The most. So, okay, anyways, back to what the original discussion was about. We're going to full circle this all the way back. The biggest thing holding us back from all of these technological advances and everything is our internet speeds. Why? Why are we holding ourselves back? I don't think it's monetary. I mean, it wouldn't cost... I don't know. I'm getting into weird...
It's because why, when you're squeezing the profit right now, and you got huge long-term profits on the horizon, you don't want them immediately. You got, like, I don't know, they want to keep themselves alive for as long as possible.
Comcast is
and
like...
try and squeeze us for as much as possible, because the day Comcast says, "Oh, we can suddenly give you gigabit internet," everyone will be like, "Oh, I'm willing to pay so much for that," when in reality we probably should be paying about as much as we are now for it.
Yeah, I mean, I want the same. I want what I'm paying now. I just want gigabit or faster. What's so hard to complain about that? I wonder how much the world would change. That'd be an interesting. I wonder if there's an article about it or someone's more
I got a
intelligent.
question for you two.
Go ahead.
How much internet do you need?
All of it.
Why?
Yeah, I need all of it.
Why?
100%. What do you mean?
What's
how much
your
internet
reasoning?
do I
Like,
mean?
Why do
Like-
I need?
Like what speed?
Yeah, what speed is your max speed? Or
Life's too short to wait for things to load. If I even see a black screen before a video, I'm pretty upset.
Okay. No,
you
he's
pampered baby.
No, come on. Okay, Austin. Let's think about this. It's not the internet speed. It's the access to information and the speed at which we can access that information. Think about so many technologies that are held back because of low internet speeds. Like we were talking about with the mobile computers, mobile gaming, not mobile gaming, but remote gaming. Remote gaming's completely held back. There's so much, a lot of data we can't transfer because, like the Human Genome Project, if you could just give access to that to everybody instantly in a download, everybody can have access to that 24/7. You no longer need hardware. You no longer need that. There's so many advancements in technology that the lack of internet speed is holding back. It's not inherently I want my YouTube to load faster, I want my Netflix to load faster. It's everything else that comes along with those. Right?
But it's mostly those. But no, all joking aside, yeah, it's exactly what Eric said. Like, it's just all these technologies we continue to talk about. Imagine how much better they would be if we had quicker internet. Like, the fact that you can have people in India reading MRI scans from the United States with the current internet speeds is amazing. Imagine what else we could do if we could really, like, export our, like, people could export their medical knowledge. I mean, the U.S., yeah, we have a great health system, like, in terms of our doctors' knowledge. I'm not going to get into healthcare or anything like that. I'm just talking about the level of healthcare, like, you can get here is the top, like, one of the top in the world. Imagine being able to export that knowledge, in other countries being able to export their knowledge. Right now, the internet speeds are barely getting there. Imagine if they were there and you could just, like, you could get test results from a doctor who's an expert in Japan for a rare disease you have. Instead of having to fly to Japan to get tested there, you could get tested from the safety of your own home.
And it just provides a lot more opportunity, because with everything else rising up, it brings up everything else with it. So that means kids in Africa, kids in other places are going to get inherently faster or access to internet because of we have it, because everybody else has it. And just from a business perspective, there's so much data where I work that people troll through every day whenever they run reports or they run stuff like that, and it takes forever. To be able to run that in seconds, to have everything real time, would be insane. I mean, I want it to the point. I mean, there would be no point for physical stuff, Your mic would be able to transfer fast enough wirelessly, not like XLR. What am I trying to say? Like, you wouldn't have an SSD, an external SSD, because transferring that would be too slow. You'd have a cloud SSD that could transfer real time. I don't know. There's so many, but you're exactly right, though. Day to day, how much do we need? Probably 25 down, 20 down would suit me just fine.
Yeah, I was more asking on the personal level with your use, but yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I was just thinking about the applications with, like, the Hollands. You could, like, scan in a whole room and send that to some, like, design firm or something, and they could, like, totally remodel your home and then send it back to you all in, like, a couple hours or something.
Not a couple minutes, but they could probably live stream that data and stuff. Like holoportation. One of the biggest things holding that back is because we can't transfer huge HD files and we can't transfer 3D mesh data on the fly. It's just too much to transfer. But imagine you could holoport really easily. I mean, the internet speed is literally one of the things holding us back in society, which is too bad, because we've had internet for every other technology's kind of been growing around internet, and it's the one thing that's kind of stayed stagnant until at least recently. It's got a little bit better, but I don't know. How much did you guys see that Comcast was thinking about putting a data cap? That's what I'm looking for. A data cap. They're going to put. I'll look up what it is real quick, so I'm not talking out of my ass.
They're going to put data limits. So, like, on your 4G on your 4G plan, like your LTE plan, if you don't have unlimited data, they were going to do that for your Wi-Fi. So they were going to limit how much data your Wi-Fi could handle, like, could cover in a month. So how much bandwidth you get. So, like, I think
this is outrageous to me.
We're talking about that. I think, wasn't the cap that we're going to put on like 100 gigs or something like that a month?
The terabyte internet data usage plan is a new data usage plan for Xfinity internet service that provides you with a terabyte of internet, so 1,024 gigs of internet data usage each month as part of your monthly service. I love it how they say that they're like now providing this cool new thing, but what they're saying is they're limiting you. They're limiting you. And no, not many people use a terabyte, but the thing about it is they're like, currently only 2% of people use a terabyte, but then they're going to be like, currently only 5% of people use half a terabyte. And then they're going to be like, currently, and then you're going to have to start, like, here we go. If you choose to use more than 1 terabyte in a month, you will automatically add blocks of 50 gigs to your account for an additional fee of $10 each. That's not that much. You could run through 50 gigs really easy. That's like a couple Plex movies and you're done. Or a couple Netflix, because Netflix has no bad.
Unless I stream them at 122p.
And then you're just watching pixels. You're like, wow, the shots in this movie are so good.
Like Avatar.
Yes. The way it was meant to be seen.
Jeez. Do you guys think this is the trend, the way we're going, or do you think this is going to get backlash? because it's still getting pushed forward. I've seen it. I mean, a year ago we checked this out. They've been talking about it for a year. All right, here you go. What can I do with a terabyte of data? Stream between 600 and 700 hours of HD video, which is really not that much if you have like 3 or 4 people in your house, you know? Play online games for more than 12,000 hours. Stream more than 15,000 hours of music. Who the hell? This is so stupid. Upload or download more than 60,000 high-res photos. I hate this corporate crap. I hate ISPs more than anything. I'm sorry, I'm still ranting. Okay, wait. Let's see where it's enacted at. Wow, it's everywhere. It's in Utah. Dang it! It's not in Ohio. You're good.
Well, I don't have Comcast, so I'm good. But the thing that is really interesting to me, if only 2% of people even surpass this, why even make it a thing, you know? Like, those 2% of people you could individually go to and be like, hey, we notice you are a major drain on our resources. Why? And then from there you could kind of give them their own plans, because that's a lot of data. Like, when you were listing off all the things, like, yeah, that's a ton, and those people would probably be better suited with like business plans than consumer, like the normal person plans. But I don't even see why they would instate this unless, like what you were saying, is they're gonna just keep throttling it back. Like, this is the inch that they're taking, the next will be a mile.
Exactly. And this is just them flexing. This is just them flexing, saying that they own us, which is a bummer, because Comcast gives the best speeds around here. And you know, which is what is stupid is because the more internet you use, I mean, the faster your internet, the more internet you're going to use. You know what I mean? The faster you're going to visit web pages, the more high quality you're going to download. The faster it is, the more you're going to use it. So the fact that they're going to get to this equilibrium, which is going to be, I can guarantee you, they're going to get to this equilibrium where it's going to be like a really fast internet, but they're going to cap you at a certain speed. So you're not going to be able to use all that speed. So you're not going to want to get the speed. So you're going to use lower speeds. It's a mess. It bothers me so bad. And the thing that kind of I like all the net neutrality stuff that's happening lately. I like how getting people's eyes open to, you know, how the internet works and how everything works. But I kind of honestly think that net neutrality is kind of this conglomerate of a lot of problems that have been built up, and you're trying to add like another rule to solve this bigger problem. Am I off base with that at all?
You're gonna have to expand a little bit on that.
So I feel like net neutrality is kind of like a hot buzzword, and there's a lot of other problems that need to be solved before we even start talking about net neutrality. It's like, have we guaranteed internet as a human right? Have we guaranteed speeds to be a certain right? Like, are we saying that, you know, do you have guaranteed access to any website you want to? Do you have guaranteed access to illegal websites? Do you have guaranteed access? There's like a lot of other problems that are kind of summed up in before we need to get into net neutrality stuff, because I understand that it's like, I don't want my ISP dictating what websites I could go to, but do we want the government dictating what websites we can go to? Do we want government fund? Is internet a right? Should the government give us internet no matter what speed it is? Because then, you know, am I start make a little bit more sense, or am I just rambling more?
I feel like you're talking about like the same thing though. Like, if the government's not telling you that, hey, if the government's not telling ISPs that, hey, your customers can go wherever they want and this kind of stuff, then that means the ISPs are going to tell you where you can go, you know? So there is a role for government in all of this, and I think that is the major problem right now, is that the government really hasn't legislated on the internet much. It's the lack of legislation, which is a major problem, in my opinion, because these ISPs are just seeing how far they can go, and like they have a hostage customer base. I mean, it's too hard to compete in their industry. So there's no other like alternatives. Like, if you want to use the internet, you have to go through one of them, and usually they're regionally divided, so they're not direct competitors of each other. It's like I think that's the major problem that needs to be solved. It's just like the government needs to step in and say like, hey, if this is going to be like this monopoly, it's going to be a regulated monopoly, and there's certain things that you can't like partake in, which is limiting internet speeds to certain websites just because, hey, this website didn't give you enough money, or it doesn't have the same political views as you, things like that.
But that's not when the government starts stepping in and saying, hey, you need to give access to all these websites. That's not too far steps away from saying, hey, you can't give access to this one site, or you can't give access to this one site because we have government rule over the internet at that point, essentially. Am I wrong about that?
I'd say that's a little like overstepping. I think the simplest way a bill could be written is saying like the only thing companies are allowed to do is dictate internet speeds, not access to the internet, if that makes sense.
Isn't that why it keeps getting shot down though? Is because there's so much other stuff wrapped up around it that
but at its simplest core, it's just saying, hey, as internet providers, you're not allowed to you're not allowed to limit people's like their freedom of information just because you don't believe that information, Like, imagine if one of the companies didn't believe in global warming or something, and they were like, okay, you can't go on these certain websites because these are all pro global warming. Like, how ridiculous would that be?
Exactly. But let's say alternative government comes in and says, hey, you have to give access to all of these websites. You have to. But then, since they can then dictate that you have to give access, can't they come in and say, oh, Holocaust denier sites, those are illegal. You can't deny the Holocaust. You know what I mean? So all of the ISPs have to no longer give access to Holocaust denier sites, or they have to release the information of who's going to Holocaust denier sites or something like that. I don't know, that's like overstepping it, but when you're giving the government the right to say what to do, aren't you giving them the right to say what not to do at the same time?
Yeah, but again, a carefully crafted bill, which I don't think we're going to see one anytime soon, would take care of that, in the fact that it would kind of, instead of
self-regulate.
Yeah, it'd be more like here's what's going to get you into trouble if you're an ISP. Like, kind of like what we did with the monopoly, with like the antitrust laws from the 1930s.
Yeah, the monopoly laws, that makes more sense to me. I feel like, but it comes back. This is why it's such a sticky area, isn't it? Is because it basically is a monopoly. The ISPs are basically monopolies, but there's no way for us to come in and easily spur more business and spur more competition, which is a bummer. Maybe that's where we should start going, is more competition, because that would breed innovation and breed, I don't know. It sucks. It's such a sticky situation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's because all this stuff is tied to these laws that were crafted way before the internet was a thing. So it's like, it's just going to be an interesting discussion that we have in the next couple of years here. I think all these efforts to stop all this stuff, like all the bills that say they're going to ban pornography but lay the groundwork to do what you're talking about, which is saying you can't set up these sites and all this, you can't go to this ISIS sympathizer site because of this reason. I think, yeah, with laws that attempt to limit like that, I'd say those are the most dangerous. But with laws that attempt to just keep things open and free, I think, yeah, they set kind of that precedent that you're talking about. But at this point, if they're well thought out and easy to understand for everyone, you'll have a lot better chance of not running into the problems that you described.
Exactly. I don't know. It just gets kind of scary to me. It sucks because the internet has always been the home for freedom and the home for access to any kind of information that you want. To an extent, there's still some reaching stuff that kind of is a bummer. But anyways, you can still access Tor. You can still go to the deep web. You can go to any website. Anybody can make any website they want to, as long as they're not harming other people, which I think is a great place. But you start looking at other countries where they have we're not trying to get too political. I hope this isn't super political. I think everything we've said is pretty fair. Is when you start looking at like other countries where they have like government provided internet and others, like I know China is such like a super bad example, but like it's government provided internet, but yet they have like this great firewall where they ban lots of walls, and a lot of other countries have that. It just gets scary to me when you start getting the government's hand anywhere near the internet. Is there any solution that we have that could just keep everybody as far away from it as possible? Just like open source the internet. Is there a way to do that?
I guess no, because until we get to this cableless environment that we've been describing, where like satellites are dirt cheap, or like there's just a couple satellites, but they're all like publicly owned, so like each person like has a stake in it, if that makes sense. Like not taxpayer funded, but almost like the corporations that we have today, where it's like there's stakeholders in them who control more of it than the actual companies, which is kind of weird considering that all the companies we've talked about today that we're currently angry at for being these monopolies are publicly traded corporations, so technically there are shareholders. But I would say the shareholders in my idea have to have a different mission in mind besides just monetary gain. It has to be like just the freedom of the internet is their goal. So they will never vote for things that will limit their freedom or other people's freedom.
I guess that's one of the things that we got super excited about with Google Fiber, It's not just the speeds, but the fact that it was like Google who, whereas Comcast, internet speeds semi-benefit them, but, having TV and having phone and having a lot of these other things benefits them a lot. So giving to that technology kind of hurts more. But whereas Google, giving everybody faster open internet, access to more websites, access to everything, benefits them. That was so nice. Ugh, I wish we could see a company like that. What a bummer. Dude, I don't know. Where do you see... Where do you see it like 10 years? Like, no, let's go even farther. Like 20 years. Do you see super fast, like Elon Musk, future-esque internet stuff?
Yeah, I would say like definitely. I don't think we're going to stay in this position because like video resolutions are just going to get higher and people are going to be like, oh, like... they're not going to want to stream anymore if they can't stream reliably, so they're going to go back to their Blu-rays and all that. Excuse me.
Bless you, Paul. Oh, bless you.
I'm dying.
Big sneeze. So you got a new TV, right, Paul?
Yeah, I did.
How are you happy with 4K? Are you happy with 4K? Tell me your 4K experiences.
I haven't had a lot of 4K experience yet. I did order a couple Blu-rays that are going to be 4K. Like, I heard the Lego movie. It has that HDR 4K resolution stuff.
Yes.
I'm going to try that out. I heard that is one of the best looking 4K movies out right now, even though it's years old.
So is yours a UHD 4K or just normal 4K?
Yes.
It's UHD?
No, yeah, it's UHD.
Okay, sweet. That's awesome. So just like doing simple things, I'm so interested to compare because we're kind of silly. Like our video resolutions on YouTube are 720p, but we render them out in 1080p because we think that makes it better, which is totally not true. I wonder if that's the same for like TVs. So if you play like a 1080p movie on a 1080p TV or a 4K TV, have you noticed any difference?
No, I haven't like compare them face to face, but I know 4K TVs market that they upscale to 4K, so I have no clue how they do that, but I guess they do it somehow.
Magic. I love magic when you just pull resolution out of nowhere. Isn't that the best?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. But they do it, so I'll let you know. I'll have my friend. Well, no, I have my parents are sending me my computer monitor, which is 1080p, and I'll set that up right next to the TV and I'll let you know the difference. Yeah,
monitors have great resolution.
Yeah, monitors kind of kill it.
They have great DPI, if I remember correctly. That's what they are. Isn't that like the dots per inch or something like that?
Yeah, and also their refresh rate is way better. So like you'll notice it in high motion scenes, like especially when you're playing games. Monitors are way better at that stuff. So
That's awesome. So I don't know. I've been split on 4K, but that's basically all they're offering now, isn't it?
Yeah, like the fact that we were talking about TVs. Like you guys just got that TV for the office. How much did you say it was?
This is a 1080p 55-inch for $300, which is pretty damn good.
Okay, so mine's a 4K 55-inch for $500. So the
that's
price
totally
difference
reasonable.
it's just like I don't know why. Like I didn't see a reason to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get just a 1080 to save $200 when
and ours
I already
isn't
have
smart.
like
Ours is not
Yeah.
smart.
So yeah, and I have the smart one, and I have the PlayStation 4 Pro. So it's like I've got a device that can play 4K with content and can game in 4K. So there was just no reason to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna save the $200 here.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
We were going through the same debate, weren't we?
I mean, we run it on Xbox 360 on our 1080, which is why would we have a 4K TV?
Exactly.
Playing 360 games.
I think this 360 only does 720p.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't even think it does 1080p. But my Xbox One looks beautiful. Are you happy with your PlayStation 4?
Oh yeah, I got some really good looking games. Like I don't know if any of our viewers know, but like I got this game called The Last Guardian.
Oh yeah.
It's really beautiful.
It's got a
and
cool
then-
art style too.
Yeah, really cool. One of those Japanese games, pretty cool. And then I also got Doom, which I don't know if anyone's played the new Doom, but Bethesda does a great job of just making beautiful games.
What's the difference
Like-
between the Pro and the not Pro?
It has a terabyte hard drive, and you can get the not Pro with the terabyte hard drive now.
But I always
And
watch benchmarks,
4K.
and it runs a little bit better. Like whenever I watch like Xbox One versus PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 4 Pro, the Pro always runs better than everything else. Why? What do they add in there?
I actually didn't look that up. I just was like, yeah.
Pro.
I just saw
why
that
not
it
go
had a
with the Pro?
terabyte. Well, I just saw that they had the terabyte hard drive, and they had a deal on it at Best Buy that made it like the same price as the terabyte hard drive normal PlayStation. So I was like, yeah, the Pro. I can research it and let you know, but it was just
Spur of the moment. No, that makes sense. I'm excited for the new Scorpio. Like, I don't think I'll buy it, but
speaking of that, someone asked a nice little question for us in the.
I'm not on the chat. The chat's broken for me.
Karaoke Coder says, "How about that Xbox One X? Do you think it will be an AR/VR machine?"
That's I was actually just about to lead to that with Paul. Would you, if PlayStation came out with their VR thing, would you pick up the Sony VR?
They actually have come out with it, and no, I will not pick one up because, like, I don't know. I've looked at the game offerings they have, and it's just like it's not there for me with a lot of the games that they have to offer. I think that Elite Dangerous game, which seems pretty cool, I think they have that, but that's about it in terms of cool games that they have for it.
Yeah, the Elite Dangerous is awesome. I have that on the computer.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. I definitely think it will. Isn't that their like main goal with beefing it up is to be able to have VR capabilities? But if you noticed at the Microsoft keynote that they had just recently, they did not mention any form of augmented reality or mixed reality stuff with the Scorpio. They did mention some VR stuff, but they didn't say any Windows holographic or anything like that.
Do we know what ports are on the device? I can't remember.
You cut out. Go ahead one more time.
Do we know what ports are on the device?
No, probably HDMI, standard, everything. It's supposed to be upgradable, though, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I think they're planning on making it upgradable. I guess it's not. It's not Project Scorpio anymore. It's Xbox One X, which is stupid. But
they should just kept it Project Scorpio. Much cooler.
That's way cooler. So yeah, the Xbox One X. Yes, I do think it'll have capabilities. Microsoft is pushing really hardcore holographic everything right now. That's their big push. The new Anniversary Edition of Windows has holographic built into it. Most of their phones are going to start having, well, I guess they don't do phones anymore, but most of their applications and stuff like that are going to have holographic versions like Outlook and all these other stuff. They're really pushing holographic hardcore as a platform. So I don't see why they wouldn't include it. Do you guys think they would?
It would only make sense with the direction they're going. So, yeah.
I think they're going to kind of let it, they're going to release it and not say that it can do it, but they have so much like technology stuff in that thing that if they don't have it as like a software update, then I would be so surprised. I don't think it's going to be ready for release like that, but they're definitely going, like, they built this thing to be a top dog in terms of performance for years to come. So I think as a software update, we can see it come probably maybe a couple months after release. I don't know.
Yeah, they like to stage those. They'd probably want to get all the kinks out of the way with the normal console because it's going to have them, and then try to do it. I don't think this will revolutionize gaming. I think I don't know. I don't really understand Microsoft's push lately at all. My biggest quandary about Microsoft is their marketing. I don't really understand who they market to with certain products. Like with the HoloLens, for example, some of their stuff seems very business driven, and then they'll come out with like Minecraft stuff and gaming stuff, and it seems very user driven at the same time when the device is definitely geared towards business. And I feel the same way with the Xbox One X. I don't really understand who they're gearing it for. Are they gearing it towards the hardcore gamers? Or are they gearing it towards developers? Or are they gearing it towards VR people? Or I don't really understand their push for that.
Maybe they just don't know and they're just collecting data or something.
Just trying to please everybody. I don't know. That's a good question, though. They released the new... what's it called? The new Acer headsets. And did you guys see the new Lenovo headsets? Mm-hmm. Austin, did you see the new Lenovo headset? Not. Lenovo holographic. Let's see if I can pull it up really quick. Oh, no, this is their VR stuff. This isn't their other stuff. I hope we win the Acer headset. Have we checked our email and see if we have one?
I can check it as we're going right now, and this will be part of that section where we cut it from the edited version.
Yep.
So this is a special live edition of if we got accepted or rejected by
Microsoft. Come on, Microsoft. We need it. We're broke. Please. All we want is a $400 headset from you. You can spare it. We've given you way more than that in marketing. Drum roll. Karaoke coder. Next Reality. That guy runs... Who? Next Reality. That's like a news site, isn't it?
Yeah. Like one of the first... No, we have not gotten anything.
Dang it. I don't think we won one. I think it was geared towards developers. I didn't have high hopes because it was mostly geared towards developers, so I didn't see much. Next Reality. This guy runs a cool site, and he's listening to our podcast. We should have been like, hey, Next Reality, what's up? Love you. I think he was one of the first people to feature us on his website, too.
Yeah, he's the boy.
All right. Tesla's building stuff for HoloLens. Cool. Well, there's some news we missed, but that's okay. Anyways,
we'll hit it next week.
Yep, for sure. Okay, let me close this bitch out. Oops. We'll cut that out too. Dude, it's gonna be the headset's gonna use 1440 by 1440. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's like probably Ethan Banks is all about that magic leap.
Oh wait, what's he saying?
He just said
he's just all about it.
That maggot. He's all about it.
He's all about that magic leap?
He's all about it.
Is he behind on the podcast? Is he listening?
No, he's
all
not.
About that magic leap.
I think he was just saying it. Because
Oh, we didn't have our weekly Magic Leap drama. Then we'll close this out. All right, Ethan, thank you for reminding me. We have some Magic Leap drama to talk about. I'm going to Google something. Hopefully there's something. There's always something. Every time I Google Magic Leap and I go to the news section, there's always something new.
The first article I find.
What is it?
So what the hell is Magic Leap doing?
All right, we're clicking it. We're featuring our... Go ahead. Do you want to drop... One of you guys want to drop this article?
Paul's going to have to.
Okay.
I can drop it in the Slack, and then we'll go ahead and we'll discuss it. Boom. All right, GameIndustry.biz. So what the hell is Magic Leap doing? At the Develop conference today, Graham Devine described the pitching process that helped Magic Leap discover the true nature of mixed reality content. Oh my gosh, it's always so much fluff. Okay. I'm not going to talk about Magic Leap hardware, Magic Leap products, Magic Leap whatever else, he said, to a small but audible sigh of disappointment. Oh.
I guess this article is old.
Yeah.
It's July 11th. Holy crap.
Yeah, so old, according to Ethan Banks.
Super
and he also says we should start using the Reddit again. Which
Ethan!
I agree.
We talked about this last week. Was Ethan the guy that was here? Ethan, were you here last week? Tell me, Ethan.
Oh, by the way, this link is no longer posting for me, so I've got no clue what to do.
I wonder if there's been other people trying to chat. I've had the hardest times. Can I chat now?
I don't know. Can you?
Hello, world. Nope. It still says error, try again. What the
I've been
freak?
keeping an eye on the chats. No, but I know I know the person who was.
Oh, this is interconnected. It was, remind me his name. Noah? Was it Noah?
Yeah, Noah. That guy.
It was Noah last week that was here. And man, Noah was livid. Well, I don't know if he was livid. Did you see the comments, Paul? Paul, you've been out of the week. You've been out of the loop. You haven't had Wi-Fi for a while. So we posted the podcast, and there was a bunch people will follow the Twitter link, and they can get to the privated podcast after we've streamed it, and they'll leave comments there. And then I posted the other one, and Noah thought I deleted all of his comments from the thing, from the other one, because they look very similar. He was not happy with me. We are the Magic Leap clan. What? There's a clan?
Dude,
Ethan,
this is incredible.
Can we be a part of the clan?
No,
I want to
dude.
kind of join the clan.
We're on the outside of the clan. We're like the HoloLens clan, just like you guys are. Yep. Yeah. We're
Wait.
the HoloLens clan.
Wait, do you guys have a
I
channel?
wanna be in
Do you
both
make
clans.
stuff about it?
They're in the Discord. We still haven't joined the Discord. He sent us a link to the Discord last time. I don't know if it'll let you post in the chat. We are all about Magic Leap. Oh, yeah? Ethan? No, I feel like I want to get in a fight, but there's no reason to get in a fight. So, curious. I'm curious, Ethan. Here you go. I have a great experience. I've been wanting to talk to a Magic Leap fanboy for quite some time. What is it that you're all about, exactly? What is it? What is it that you're all about?
He wants Discord.
You could. The link is somewhere.
Well, if you guys get on Discord, before you go, I have to go. So we should close this out, and then you guys can get on Discord and
I want this to be
tell me-
here live.
tell me
Ethan,
what happens.
what are you excited about? What are you about on Magic Leap? What are you about? There's a delay. I hate this. I wish there wasn't a delay. So we're just going to sit here and be patient for a moment.
This is what we're talking about.
It won't let him post links.
Eric, I think that's a setting we can control. I'll try and fix it. Or maybe YouTube's just being brutal, because I guarantee some kid got scammed and YouTube overreacted.
Okay, I'm not automatically blocking spam messages. Okay, I just turned it off. Your changes are being saved. Okay, changes are being saved. I don't know what you're posting a link to. Ethan, answer my question, though. Ethan, my chat is messed up. It's not refreshing for me. What the freak?
I think he's trying to post the link to the Discord to get you guys on Discord.
No, we're not getting him on Discord. That's a different thing. He has like a whole Discord group with people on Magic Leap and stuff like that.
Nice.
That they got us onto anyway.
Dude,
Anyways,
they would wreck us.
Ethan,
they?
answer my
I don't know,
question.
would they?
We have a device to stand by.
Ooh. Ethan, answer my question. What are you excited about? I mean, wait, what are you about? No. You says, we are all about Magic Leap. Don't use Magic Leap. Say, we are all about, and describe what you're excited about without using the word Magic Leap. Please. I would love to hear that. You would make my day, and I've had a hard day today, so I want you to make my day. Is he posting
We have an
something?
Oculus Rift No, I refreshed the podcast. We have an Oculus Rift advertisement on our podcast.
Wow, that's good. That's actually good.
YouTube's actually doing nice for us.
Gotta get me one of those Oculus Rifts. I don't even know. I'd get a Vive.
Okay, he sent us a message on YouTube.
What did he say?
I don't know.
Just barely?
Yeah, just barely.
The plot thickens. What does it say, Austin? I'll look it up. If Magic Leap works
It's not letting
how I
me
think
chat.
it should, we won't need
It's not letting me chat. It thinks I'm spam. God damn it, YouTube.
I'm turning off.
Whoa. If Magic Leap works how I think it should, we won't need headsets. Karaoke Coder said that.
What does that mean, karaoke? Like magic? Like it'll be really magic? Like
remember that one company, Daiquiri? No,
like Magic
Daiquiri.
Pinch, like Disney's thing?
No. There's a company that has that like holographic cube, remember? That connects to cameras?
The $15 HoloLens?
No. Let me see.
The Star Wars thing where it plays like a like Luke lifting up the where you lift
All I
up
know
with
is
your
that
mind?
there's going to be a giant well in a gym, and we can all see it.
Nope.
That's what they advertise.
I know.
That's what they advertise. Wrong. And no, Ethan, answer my question. You says wait. We are all about Magic Leap. I want you to say that same sentence without using the word Magic Leap. We are all about what? Answer that for me, please, my friend. I'm just curious. I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I shouldn't yell. Getting a little heated up. It's hot in this room right now.
Eric, you're not heated up. You just want to know. You want to get down to this.
I'm just a curious bee. I'm a curious cat. Okay?
Everyone who likes Magic Leap is so vague.
Guys,
Whoa.
what's the name of that company? The Daiquiri company? What's the
Daiquiri.
spelling?
DAQRI.
QR.
Oh, they have things they cannot talk about.
Daiquiri builds like the headsets that are like helmets and stuff like that.
No, yeah, but they also have a cube.
So, Ethan, do you guys work for
No,
Magic Leap?
you haven't. Ethan, I love you, but you're one of my favorite fans, and I love you for that. But you have not seen anything that you can't talk about.
Do they work for Magic Leap?
Yeah, they might have.
No.
Is that
Ethan.
what Karaoke Coder's talking about?
I have no idea.
Noah and I have seen things that we cannot talk about. What things? Give me a hint. Drop me a little hint in like
Just
code
hints.
or Yiddish. Please, Ethan. We're getting breaking news on Magic. No, we're not getting breaking
Maybe
news.
they had a vision from Magic Leap gods.
Ronnie Abovitz came to me in my sleep.
Ronnie scares me.
Yeah, he scares me too. He's like,
Hey, Tuck.
is someone here? Ah,
Yeah,
what the
Tuck's
heck is
here.
my chat? Dude, our chat is messed up. You guys got to tell me when there's a new message so I can see stuff. Ooh, Tuck Siver. Welcome to the podcast. No, we do not work for Magic Leap. Then how did you see stuff that you can't talk about? It thinks I'm spam again. Dude, I'm sorry. Our chat is. I'm sorry. Our chat is messed up right now. It won't even let me
Tuck
post anything.
Silver is just roasting us.
Yeah, he is. He's wrecking us.
Wait, really? I can't see it.
He said he's seen things you wouldn't believe.
Did you see him at Magic Leap? Because I want to believe anything.
I mean,
Ethan, it's not even letting me chat right now. I'm sorry, dude. And I'm signed into the Holo Herald account. Guys, this is why we started the Holo Herald. We just wanted a place where we could all yell at each other.
I'll argue
Yeah.
over Magic Leap.
Eric, just make Ethan Banks like not Is there any way to make him into a level where he can chat with us without
Make him a
getting
moderator.
spam?
Make him a
Yeah,
moderator.
you can moderate him.
All right, Ethan, you're a moderator. I hope that worked. Tell me if that worked. I could put him in timeout. Okay, Ethan, try setting that stuff now. I just modded you. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. Dang, Tux.
Wow.
We're talking to a bona fide space warrior.
He's ridden the moonworm.
Links won't work, however, I will say one thing. Ooh.
I'm excited.
Ethan, where are you from, buddy? Are you from Florida? Did you get to go to headquarters?
He's Ronnie's son. He's the second coming of Ronnie.
Dude, how I would rather interview Ronnie's son than Ronnie. That would be awesome. That'd be so cool. Wait, what links are you posting? Send them to me somewhere else. Twitter. Do you have Twitter?
I feel you, Ethan. Links don't even work for me.
Oh.
Yeah, yes, we have. I'm just slow. We're all just slow here. Sorry. I've heard that somewhere, and I was trying to think where, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot saying a wrong quote. So are you excited for the new Blade Runner? I don't know what I think about it yet. I'm sort of excited, but I'm hesitant. Magic Leap will be one of the greatest pieces of technology to disrupt our world in the past 10 years.
Whoa,
Why?
What a statement.
Why? Why?
Hey, stop yelling.
Sorry.
You're ruining the podcast, Eric.
I'm sorry. I'm just so curious. We've been talking about Magic Leap for like 3 years now. Ethan, give me something. Come on, big boy. We won't tell him we got the information from you. There's no public record of this at all.
Oh, we're not saying we won't give it a chance. We want something.
We're just too excited
I'm
for
gonna
our
give it,
Doshran Good.
like,
We're like children on Christmas morning. You know when you want to open a present the day before Christmas? That's what we're feeling like right now. That's right. Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're right on.
well, it's like being told that you're going to get the greatest Christmas present of all time, but no one tells you anything about the Christmas present, and the person who's going to give it to you just keeps like meeting with celebrities and showing them your Christmas present,
And then
the
tweeting you
celebrities-
about it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Give me
What?
something good to eat.
What?
Are they saying something? What's going on?
Ethan Banks says, the amount of content and communication that you'll be able to get done with large mobility will be unprecedented.
Where are you from,
What?
Ethan? I'm curious. Are you from the United States? Ethan Banks is a very U.S. name, so I'm going to assume that. Are you from Florida? Did you get to go to their headquarters and see what's up? Because I'd be very jealous if you were. The photonic chip is a super cool idea. I hope it works as advertised. Where are you guys seeing stuff advertised for Magic Leap?
Like the videos with the
And
well and the elephant thing.
I'm excited for a whale and an elephant thing.
Just go to their website.
I feel like we're pretty in the loop, and then our viewers come on and totally just wreck me, you know?
I mean, what do we know?
Everything, Austin Swinpoon, everything.
Did you just call me that?
Sorry, force of habit. It's okay. It's all friend. We're all friends here. This is. I hope it works as advertised too, Tuck. Me too.
I really do.
I don't know what is advertised yet. I haven't seen any advertisements, but I'm excited.
We will release an apologetic video.
There's nothing to apologize for. We haven't
You're
done
right.
anything.
You're right.
We haven't been like, oh, Magic Leap is a piece of dirt, because we don't know. We just want to know, right? Paul,
Right.
did you say
I
Magic
wanna
Leap's a
know.
piece of dirt?
well, I just said that there's nothing to concrete to go on. Like, you can say as much as you want right now about it. Like, feel free to say as much as you want.
There's been a bunch of comments. Oh man, I
Until
wish our
rubber-
chat wasn't so messed up.
Until rubber hits the road, it means nothing to me. Words are words. Actions are actions.
Thanks for the speech.
Paul 2020.
Yeah.
The amount of content and communication that you'll be able to get done with large mobilities will be unprecedented. I hope it works as advertised. I'm not saying anything. 7, somewhat confidential. I'm not saying anything even somewhat confidential. Ethan, are you talking about content creation at all or just visual computing? No, I was never at HQ. I've watched various videos on Magic Leap's tech. The tech looks really interesting. Tuck, if you could link me to some of those videos, I'd be really interested. And okay, Ethan, I feel like I'm directing an episode of Coast to Coast. Ethan, okay, you didn't go to headquarters. You can't tell us what the information is. Can you tell us how you have acquired such information?
Did you sign anything that says you can't say this?
Well,
They make everybody sign anything that even goes anywhere near it. Oh, okay, yeah, that you're right. Okay, I thought there was newer videos. Yeah, that stuff's really exciting, but it's kind of old, you know. Those videos came out a while. One hint, you won't have to wait too long.
I don't want a battery pack around my belt. if that's what it is, Ethan, I'm going to be really upset.
Can't link. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on, guys.
Didn't you make him a moderator?
I did. I don't think YouTube's been messed for me today, guys. I don't know what's up. It wouldn't let me upload that video. It wouldn't let me save anything. It's not letting me post comments now. Glasses. Okay, Ethan, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, and I think you're starting to be a Fibber McGee. Because how did you come upon this information? Have you ever seen Coast to Coast, guys? You guys have seen Coast to Coast, right?
Coast to Coast.
Yeah, I love Coast to Coast.
We love Coast to
Coast. It's the best show of all
Coast.
time.
It's the best show of all time. I'm feeling like I'm a moderator on that. Like, I just have to take the line and be like, oh, yeah. Can I be George Norrie? Those videos are a little old, but they really do go to the photonic chip quite well. I swear I'm not a troll. I just can't say anything. Can you give me proof that you can't say anything?
No, he can't.
Yeah, he can show us the NDA.
Yeah,
show me
show us
an
that.
email. Show me who, Ethan. Why have you seen it? What makes you special? It can jeopardize some people. Ethan, you're sounding like you're freaking telling us like the Illuminati's after you, dude. This is Magic Leap. This isn't the Illuminati.
Dude, it's Ronnie.
It's gotta be Ronnie.
Instead of the Illuminati, we should make that a joke in our videos from now on. We'll put like Illuminati, but it'll be Ronnie Abovit's head instead of the triangle. That's freaking hilarious. We gotta get Caden on some Photoshop now.
Yeah.
Ethan, don't have real hidden stuff, of course. No. I just want to believe, Tuck. Just let me believe. Just let me believe.
He's Ronnie 2017.
This is Ronnie. All right, Ethan Banks. Okay.
Ethan, I'm not going to say I believe you.
Ethan Banks, do you run EthanBanks.com?
But I can't wait to see if
Tech
what you
impacting
say
life
is
and
true.
business of new media. Ethan, do you have a podcast? All of Ethan's podcasts are articles for June. Ooh. Ethan, would you like to be on our podcast?
Ethan, you gotta be on our podcast.
Ethan,
He's
can we have you on our podcast?
contacts with Magic Leap.
Ethan, will you be on our podcast? Can we feature you? I would love to have you on our podcast. We get quite a few views, actually, for being just on YouTube, and we're putting it on iTunes soon and stuff, so come on. Ethan, we're hand-reaching out for... is he saying anything? My chat's not updating.
Tux just said maybe Ethan is a cleaner at Magic Leap.
Oh, that'd be
like
crazy.
a janitor.
Dude, that sounds like a cool movie. We gotta make a movie about this.
You can't even talk about the NDA. Nope, most NDAs have non-reveal clauses. You can't talk about what you can't talk about. Maybe Ethan is a cleaner. Sorry, I'm already committed with Noah on a future podcast. No. Not every week. We just want have like a 30-minute segment. We'll have you get on our podcast. We talk. We interview you. We say, we got Ethan Banks here. He's the man, the myth, the wonder, the one, the only. He's been a longtime loyal fan of the Holo Herald, and we've been a longtime fan of Ethan Banks. And basically, we just interview you. We have a whole form. You don't even have to fill out the form. We'll have you on. Cleans the piles of patents that are blocking the doors and plugging up the air conditioners. That's hilarious. Tuck's on fire.
We really need to make... Message me and I'll come on with Noah.
Okay.
Be great.
That would be great. Okay, we'll message you. We'll be in contact. Do you have a Twitter? Can you give us your @? Can you give us your handle so we can tweet you? We could DM you on Twitter. Because YouTube's kind of finicky with DMs sometimes. Are you sure, Austin?
Maybe, I don't know. It was the first thing that popped up.
Could be. I don't see why not. Yeah, could be. Very well could be. Whoa. I really hope so. This is exciting. That would be a lit podcast. Message me. I'll come on with Noah. Magic. Oh, dude, your Magic's class. Okay, hold on.
Scallop.
We're gonna add you right now. Can somebody add him on Twitter, please?
Yep, will do. Okay, send it through Discord.
We'll add you on Twitter, and then can you send it to us there? Because YouTube's being a bee's notch right now.
Terrible.
Okay, well, this has been some exciting turn of events. Thank you, everybody that has been joining us for this edition of the Holo Herald Podcast. We started out with a very lengthy discussion on internet, probably too lengthy, but I was a little butthurt, so sorry for my little rant. Then we got onto some cool new technologies, Project Scorpio, the PS4 Pro, blah, blah, blah. And then we got into some really deep stuff where we might have some insider information coming your guys' way about Magic Leap, or not. Lack thereof. But we're going to have some interesting people on the podcast soon. If you guys are interested in being on the podcast, any of you people listening to the pre-record version or listening to the live version right now, you guys can either hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on YouTube, leave a comment in one of our videos. Any way that you guys email us. There's lots of ways to get a hold of us. If you guys are interested in being on the podcast, you guys don't have to be some HoloLens expert. You don't have to be a developer. You don't have to have inside information about Magic Leap. You can just be your old self, and we're just interested in having you guys on. And I would like to say, any closing words from my friends, my co-hosts?
No.
It was a very interesting podcast to be on. I'm very excited to see what will come of this podcast with Ethan and Noah. I think it will be really fun, and I can't wait for it.
Yes. We also have some other people lined up. We have Alex Risotto. Wait, sorry. I always call him Alex Risotto. What the heck? I
Lucas
cannot do that
Risotto.
when we get him on. We have Lucas Risotto. We have Joseph Rampala from AR Dirt. We could probably get some people that work at Microsoft. We're in touch with some of them. We got lots of stuff lined up. So go ahead and follow the podcast. Subscribe. Follow wherever you guys like to. We're hopefully going to get it on all of the platforms by the end of this week. And I guess, is that everything from you guys?
I believe so.
It's perfect.
Ooh, we
Thanks
got
for
some
listening,
smooth
guys.
jazz coming. Thank you guys for listening to this edition of the Holo Herald Podcast. It's been a good one. Episode 222 signing off. We'll catch you guys next week. See you in the next episode, boys.
See you guys.
See ya.